Howdy there, my chimp. Howdy there, my chimp champs. Welcome back to One Great Manga War. Hopefully you are having a fantastic day today. And today, we are going in the next video of my One Piece discussion series, and that's Skypiea. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So Skypiea, this is the middle, Skypiea, this is a middle arc, in my opinion, of Baroque Works and Water 7. This is kind of like a little bit of a break of everything that's going on. And it's a lot of fun. So without further ado, let me get into the basics of it. So, Luffy and everybody's leaving Alabasta. And while they're leaving, a big ship, wham, hits their boat. And they're like, where the heck did this boat come from? And they eventually come to the conclusion that it came from the sky. And Nico Robin joins the team there at this point. She's on the team now. She says it's because Star Crocodile forced her to do it or something around those lines. And Luffy's like, sure, let's join the crew. A new person. That's all great. And once the thing comes down and they start asking questions, Nico Robin fills us in saying that it's may possibly be because of the legend of the Sky Island, the Angel Island, Skypiea. And they're like, really now? This is crazy. An island in the sky. This is such a fantastic idea for the story. So they're like, okay, we're going to go to the next town, which is Jaya, where they meet a bunch of basically crazy pirates, pretty much. The pirates there aren't very kind to Luffy and them. Has some of my favorite stuff from this arc, where they're getting beat up in the bar, and they're like, do not fight, it's not worth it, even though he can easily beat the crap out of him. Like, I'm not gonna do it, don't fight. And they don't, and they come out, and this one guy comes out and he's like, I'm gonna, so you're Monkey D. Luffy, you're so weak or whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna beat you. And then Luffy one punches him, knocks him out, and then we get to see their new bounties. And their bounties have grown substantially after Alabasta. And it's so crazy seeing how strong they've gotten comparing from the beginning. It's like nuts. After that, though, we get to go and we get to see some stuff with new characters like Whitebeard. And we get to see Shanks again, which is super cool. And a lot more stuff that will be pushed forward into the rest of the series, which is awesome. I love this world building they're doing in this arc, and it's so freaking great. You got so much new additions to the story and new additions to the characters and what they do. It's just so freaking good, and I'm super excited about this point of the story. So eventually, though, they do get to Sky Island, and the island itself is such a gorgeous and beautiful place. I absolutely love the area of Skypiea and what it offers for the world of One Piece and what it shows off. But in my opinion, this arc is a little bit rough. So, like I said, this is a little bit of a middle ground of Baroque Works and Water 7. This is like a little bit of a rest break. It's like, okay, just we're gonna let it relax for a little bit, and we're just gonna like have like a little fun mini arc, which is fine. But it feels like a fun mini arc. There really isn't a lot of character development. In fact, I really don't think there is any character development in this arc. It just, the main reason they go to Skypiea is just because they simply want to, rather than like, it's not like a quicker way to get there, or there's like the secret hidden polyglyph that that's there that they can read, and it's done by Gold Roger. No, not at all. That's not the reason why that's not the reason why they're going up there. It's because they just want to, and for me, that's not a really good enough reason for them to go up there. And that's my main reason with this arc, is that the main problem with this arc is that it just kind of feels like he wanted to have like a little fun break, which is fine, of course, but again, comparing it to the rest of the arcs, it's just not as good because of that main reason. There isn't character development, or there's no world building past the Jaya arc. Not world building, but there's nothing that like pushes the story forward past the Jaya arc for the main thing we're trying to get to, which is the One Piece. But anyway, they have a bunch of fights, which are really interesting, but not that interesting. The bad guys that are there besides Inaru, I believe that's his name, are very much bland and not very interesting. But once we do get to Inaru, though, this dude is freaking amazing and cool. He has these like electric powers that he can like, just super overpowered, like electric powers. It's nuts. Boom, they're dead. Boom, they're dead, and like boom, they're dead. It's insane how powerful this guy is, and the fact that he's a god. It's insane. And you really have this feeling of like, are they going to be able to win this fight? Are they strong enough to defeat Inaru and save the Skypiea from all of the shackles that they're put on? And that's a question that is set through this whole arc. Because we know he's there the whole time, and we're just like waiting for him to show up. We're like, okay, is he going to show up now, later? It's really tense in that kind of way. And with Skypiea, this whole little Skypiea could, in my opinion, be like its own like setting for a whole series. Honestly, it is so beautifully built with the city of gold and its inhabitants and the wars. This is the type of world building that you would see like in a normal series, not for just one little island in One Piece. It's so freaking good and really amazing in that way. But anyway, when we get to the fight with Inaru, he takes Nami just because pretty much. And he gets on the island, he's starting to leave. And Luffy's like, no, I can't let this happen. And Sanji and Usopp are on there, and they're trying to like stop him and stuff. And it has one of my favorite moments from Sanji is when he's like, gets hit by the lightning. He's like, thanks, I needed a light for my cigarette. One of the coolest things that he's ever done, and is one of my favorite scenes of One Piece. It's like up there. I'm not really sure how high up there, but it's up there because like, this made Sanji such a really cool character. He already was a cool character, but like it shows off his other side of him besides like, you know, the perverted guy. It shows that he's serious and deeply cares for his friends, and he's willing to take a lightning bolt and still, you know, act like nothing happened, which we'll get into later with another character that does something very similar once we get into the Thriller Bark stuff. Because oh my word, that's also another really great stuff. I'm getting sidetracked, but oh man, this arc is really great. But for One Piece standards, it's a little bit lower than I want it to be at. For me, if I had to say roundabout where I would feel like this arc's quality is, I would probably say it's around about the same amount as the Sanji arc in the original. Around here, about 7, 8, and 9, around about that area. It's about that amount of quality. Which, if you've read that arc, it's still a very solid arc and really good. It's just not up to standards of like Alabasta or it's not up to standards as of it's not up to standards of Arlong Park or Alabasta, but it's still a fantastic arc. But besides that, it's just a really good arc in general, and I do enjoy it. It's just a lot weaker in my opinion. And when I remember reading this for the first time, it was it took a little bit longer than I feel like when I read it for the first time, I was having some troubles getting through it due to the pacing and my lack of interest in this arc. But when I go back and read it now, it's just good, and I just need to get through it pretty much. But if it worked for this arc, we wouldn't know about Goldie Roger's location we need to go then, and it wouldn't set up for the next arc, Water 7, which is amazing. But with the Polnareffs, I apologize, Polnareffs. But with that information, it gives us a lot of really good stuff to know about Goldie Roger in the future of One Piece. But, like I said, it's not the reason they went up there. They just went up there because they wanted to. If they would have went up there because it was like a quicker route to get to the end, or if it wanted to go up there because they knew about those, then I would have been fine about it. But they didn't say that or do that. They just went up there because they wanted to. That's my main problem with this arc. Is that there's no character development. There's not a lot of character development. And there's not a lot of reason why they're going up there. But besides that, like I said, it's a really solid arc. I really did enjoy it. So yeah, those are my thoughts So yeah, those are my thoughts and feelings of Skypiea. This one's a relatively much shorter arc than the rest of the series. But yeah, those are my opinions. As I said though, this is a discussion video. I'd love to hear what your opinions are. What do you think of Aniru? What do you think of this arc in general? What do you think of Skypiea? What do you think of the whole island and what it does to the world building? I'd love to hear your opinion on it. But with that, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, my beautiful chim chams. And go out there and read some manga, my friends.